name's Marissa and welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'm going to give you 10 tips to successfully work from home with children. If you're new to my channel, my name is Marissa, also known as Homemaking with Marissa here on YouTube and also on Instagram. If this is your first time on my channel, typically I post homemaking videos. I share things like meal prep, cooking motivation, cleaning motivation, as well as sharing different tips and hacks and ways to just make your life a little bit easier. 2 days a week, I am working from home from 8 a.m. until 5:30 p.m. A lot of us that do not typically work at home are currently doing so because of social distancing. Now, for most of us, our kids were going to daycare or they were in school, and a lot has changed. Where we used to get up in the morning and go to a job, or even if you had a work from home job before, you ordinarily don't have your kids with you the entire day when you're trying to work. And that can prove to be extremely exhausting mentally, as well as just being kind of chaotic and stressful for a lot of parents. My first tip is to prep food ahead of time. I figure out every day, what are my kids going to have for breakfast? What are my kids going to have for both of their snacks, as well as what they're going to have for lunch? Before I even have to clock in and start working, I have already figured out for the day what they're eating. I don't have to deal with scrambling, trying to figure out they're hungry, they need a snack, what am I gonna get them, what am I gonna feed them? Everything's prepped ahead of time. I will lay it all out on the counter. So I will lay out snack 1, snack 2, I will give them their breakfast plates, and then I will know ahead of time what we're having for dinner. I post quite a few examples of things that I'm feeding my kids in my Instagram stories. If you're not following it there, most days I will show what my kids are eating for breakfast, what their snacks are, and what I'm feeding them for lunch. Sometimes I'll also include what we're having for dinner. I will leave a link to my Instagram account in the description box down below. I didn't say earlier in the video, but my kids range in age. I have a 2-year-old, I have a 6-year-old, and I have a 15-year-old. The second thing that I do is I plan activity stations. I will think of 3 different activity stations for my kids to do in the morning, and then I will swap them out at lunch and do 3 additional activity stations. It could be setting up their little car road with some cars, some activity books, a book reading station. They have wooden train tracks, I've set that up before, puzzles. I just figure out before work even starts, what are my first 3 activity stations, and then when I'm taking my lunch, I figure out the next 3 activity stations. I have actually posted, I believe, 2 videos before just showing different activities to do with your kids while we're experiencing social distancing and not able to leave our house. I will list those also in the description box down below so that you can get some ideas of the different stations that I'm setting up for my kids. Number 3 is doing a freezer meal for dinner. I showed in a grocery haul that I did recently that I found a bunch of different freezer pre-made meals from Kroger. So I just counted on my calendar. I do monthly grocery shops currently. I just counted on my calendar. How many days am I working in the next month? And I purchased that many made-ahead freezer meals. In the past, I've done my own freezer meals, but we're just trying to keep this as simple and easy on ourselves as possible right now and doing everything in our power to eliminate stress. Normally, my kids are gone during the day and I'm at work, so my house is not getting dirty throughout the day. And therefore, if I'm going to be putting a little bit more work into dinner, it's offset by the fact that I'm not having to clean my house. Currently, I don't want to have to put any thought into dinner. So I just pick a package or a bag and realize that maybe that's not the healthiest option, but for my sanity, Not having to put any thought into what I'm making for dinner takes a bunch of pressure off of me. Number 4 is set Alexa alarms for snack time. When I first started working from home, my kids were constantly telling me, I'm hungry, I'm hungry, I'm hungry, I'm hungry, I need a snack, I need a snack, I need a snack, I need a snack. And not only is it disruptive, but they just want to eat because they're bored. So they don't need to be eating all day long. My grocery bill was going to be through the roof if my kids had kept on that pattern of wanting to eat every 15 minutes. I have transitioned to setting an Alexa alarm in the front of the house. So the kids know, don't ask me for a snack until Alexa goes off. When she starts beeping, then it's time to eat. And that might sound kind of extreme or maybe kind of harsh. My kids are not hungry. They are eating 3 meals and at least 2 snacks every single day. They're not still hungry. They just want to eat because they like snack foods better than actual meals. And to table that, setting those alarms has completely eliminated the running dialogue of I'm hungry, I want to eat.
I realized when I was editing this video that I never said what tip number 5 was. Tip number 5 is to find a quiet place in your home where you can work. I have a pretty small house and I don't have any sort of office space. So currently my office is in my bedroom. It's in the back of the house and it's a quiet area where I can be separated from the main area where all of the noise and chaos is.
Number 6 is to set expectations when I'm on the phone. I do have to take client calls during the day and do spend a bulk of the time that I'm working on the phone. Understand that my kids are going to need my help throughout the day. They're going to have questions, they're going to need help with something, they're going to need me to help them in some way throughout the day. The expectation that I have set with them is that if they come into the room and I have a headset on and I am talking to someone, they are not allowed to ask me a question until I'm off the phone. My 15-year-old has no problem with this. My 6-year-old is also very good about doing this. My 2-year-old has some room for improvement. He gets it sometimes. He understands the concept. He's getting better, and I think that because this is probably going to go on for a while longer, that by the end he will understand my goal of him not asking questions while I'm on the phone. I'm just trying to make sure that the expectation is set that if they open the door and I'm talking, it's not okay to ask me a question at that time until I am finished with the call that I'm on, and then I am happy to answer their question or listen to whatever their story is, or deal with whatever their need is at that moment. Number 7 is do not worry about the mess. I cannot stress this enough. When I first started working from home, it drove me absolutely crazy that my house was getting wrecked throughout the day. I very quickly realized I just can't worry about it. I can't allow that to occupy space in my brain while I'm trying to work. I know that when I set up those activity stations and I'm expecting my kids to kind of entertain themselves for an entire day, they're gonna make messes, and that's okay. I can just clean it up when I'm done. They can help me at the end of the day before they go to bed. I'm just not going to sweat whether or not there's toys all over my floor because they are having fun and playing and making messes throughout the day. This also goes for dishes. I have a routine of unloading my dishwasher every single morning. I run it at night before I go to bed. I unload it in the morning. Every morning my dishwasher is empty and ready to have dirty dishes put in. And if they make it in the dishwasher throughout the day when I'm working, great. And if they don't and they're on the counter or they're in the sink, or they're sitting on the table, that's okay too. We'll just pick them up when I'm done working and deal with them then. Number 8 is don't sweat the tech. Ordinarily, I don't want my kids hanging out on a tablet and watching TV and playing video games and being distracted by a device. Currently, if they have done their schoolwork and I'm working and they want to watch a movie or they want to be on a tablet, I'm just not sweating it. We will get back into a more disciplined routine when it comes to technology when all of this is over. But for right now, I'm not gonna beat myself up over it if my kids play on a Kindle throughout the day. It's gonna be okay. And if that's what we have to do right now to just weather this storm and make it through this situation, it's gonna be fine. Number 9 is to tell your children that you're proud of them. Every single night when I am done working, and I try to do this throughout the day as well, I tell my kids I'm proud of them. If they are patient and they wait until I get off the phone, I thank them and say I'm very proud of you for using your patience and waiting until mommy was off the phone for you to ask that question. Or at the end of the day, I will say, I am really proud of you for being such good boys today and playing nicely with your brother, or completing this activity, or you did such a good job coloring this picture for me. I'm very proud of what a great job you did while mommy was working. Kids love hearing that their parents are proud of them. And I have found that if I'm good about telling my kids that I'm proud of them, they want to replicate that behavior and try to make their parents proud the next day that they're working. And I am legitimately proud of them. I'm not just shining them on to get them to behave. I am proud of them, and it's important as a parent to let them know that you are proud of them when they do something well. If I give negative, I'm probably going to receive negative, but if I give positive, I receive positive. I feel better, they feel better, just makes everyone in a better mental and emotional spot. My final tip is to do something for yourself every day you work after your kids go to bed. Maybe you take a bath, maybe you have a cup of tea, maybe you take a minute to read a book, maybe you watch a video, maybe you watch a TV show, just something that you do just for you, to decompress at the end of the day and celebrate that you made it through another day of working at home with your kids. I just try to do this in general, but particularly now, on days that I work from home all day with the kids, I have to do something to recharge my batteries and do something that isn't for my husband or my kids or my boss. It's just something that's gonna fill my cup and make me feel better and excited to get up and do it all over again in the morning. If you have tips that you're using with your kids to successfully work at home, please leave them in the comment section down below so that we can share in different ideas of ways that people are doing it that they feel like are working for them. If you haven't done so already, please hit the red subscribe button and turn on bell notifications so that you don't miss when I upload. I hope that all of you are staying happy and healthy. Bye.
If you would like to watch an additional video that I have filmed, you can go ahead and click on the image on the left of your screen. And if you haven't done so already, you can subscribe to my channel by clicking on my face on the right side of the screen.